What would you do if you heard the sound of fingernails scraping against concrete, getting closer and closer in the dead of night? Scrape, scrape, scrape. The sound echoes through empty subway tunnels beneath Tokyo, a rhythmic horror that makes your skin crawl. But this isn't just any ordinary noise disturbing the midnight silence. This is the calling card of something that should never have existed, something born from a moment of unimaginable tragedy that transformed an innocent schoolgirl into Japan's most terrifying urban nightmare. Picture this: a 17-year-old girl named Kashima Reiko, her school uniform crisp and clean, standing on a crowded train platform during rush hour. She's just like any other teenager heading home after a long day of classes, her mind probably wandering to homework or weekend plans. The platform buzzes with the familiar chaos of commuters, everyone lost in their own little worlds, unaware that they're about to witness something that will haunt Japan's collective nightmares for generations. Then it happens in a heartbeat. Someone, whether by accident or cruel intention, no one will ever know, gives her a violent shove. Time slows to a crawl as she tumbles forward, her school bag flying through the air like a broken bird. Her eyes widen in pure terror as she realizes what's coming. The screech of metal on metal fills the air as the train desperately tries to brake, but physics is a merciless master. The massive steel beast, weighing tons upon tons, cannot stop its deadly momentum. The impact is swift, brutal, absolute. But here's where the story takes a turn that chills the blood of everyone who hears it. Death, it seems, was not the end for Kashima Reiko. Instead of finding peace, her soul became trapped in a prison of rage and anguish, her spirit refusing to accept what had been stolen from her. The trauma of being cut in half created something new, something that defied every natural law, a vengeful entity that would drag itself through the darkness, forever seeking others to share her fate. She became the Teke Teke. The name itself comes from the horrifying sound she makes as she moves. Asterisk Teke Teke, Teke Teke asterisk. The scraping noise of her fingernails and elbows clawing against pavement as she pulls her bisected body forward with supernatural speed. Imagine trying to run from something that moves like lightning, but sounds like death itself scratching its way toward you. Witnesses describe her as a grotesque mockery of her former self. Her long black hair, once probably styled with teenage care, now hangs in matted curtains around a face twisted by eternal fury. Her school uniform, that symbol of innocence and youth, is forever stained with the evidence of her violent end. But the most terrifying detail of all is what's missing. Everything below her waist, severed cleanly as if by some cosmic blade. She doesn't just appear randomly, though. The Teke Teke hunts with purpose, drawn to specific victims like a moth to flame. She seeks out those who are alone, vulnerable, caught in quiet moments when help seems impossibly far away. Train stations, empty streets, school corridors after dark. These become her hunting grounds, places where the echo of her approach can build dread like a symphony of terror. The first sign is always the sound, that rhythmic scraping that starts distant and grows closer with each passing second. Victims describe how their blood turns to ice when they realize the noise is following them, matching their pace, gaining ground no matter how fast they try to escape. Because here's the cruel joke of it all: the Teke Teke moves with inhuman speed, covering ground faster than any living person could run. When she finally appears, sliding around corners or emerging from shadows like a nightmare made flesh, she poses a simple question that seals her victim's fate. But before they can even think of an answer, before they can process what they're seeing, she strikes with a rusted sickle that appears in her hands as if summoned from the depths of hell itself. The weapon becomes an extension of her rage, cutting down anyone who crosses her path with the same merciless efficiency that claimed her own life. She doesn't just kill, she recreates her own death in others, ensuring they join her in a twisted form of companionship that spans beyond the grave. But what makes this legend truly terrifying isn't just the gore or the supernatural elements. It's the human tragedy at its core. Somewhere beneath the monster is still that 17-year-old girl who just wanted to go home. Her transformation into something horrific speaks to our deepest fears about injustice, about how trauma can corrupt innocence, about what happens when pain becomes so overwhelming that it changes the very nature of who we are. The Teke Teke represents every victim who never got justice, every person whose life was cut short by someone else's carelessness or cruelty. She's a walking reminder that some wounds run so deep they can tear holes in reality itself, creating spaces where the impossible becomes inevitable. And now, as midnight approaches in cities across Japan, people still listen carefully to the sounds around them. They quicken their pace when they hear something scraping against concrete. They avoid empty train platforms and dark corridors, knowing that somewhere in the shadows, she might still be hunting. Because the most chilling part of the Teke Teke legend isn't what she was or what she became. It's what she's still becoming. Every time someone hears her approach and realizes there's nowhere left to run,